Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's class. We're doing a full hour's workout today, targeting the full body at a beginner level. So if this is one of your first ever Pilates classes, welcome. I'm so pleased to have you here with me. We're going to be working all of the body head to toe, and please go gently if you have any injuries. When you're ready, roll out your mat and let's get started. Stand with your feet about hip width apart, and let's begin by finding our alignment. We're going to be doing some pelvic tilts to find the pelvic neutral. So place your hands on your hips, soften your knees. Imagine you have a tail, and I want you to tuck your tail between your legs, so scoop your hips underneath, and then poke your tail up towards the ceiling. Scoop your hips underneath, tuck your tail between your legs, and poke your tail up to the ceiling. I want you to go as far as you can in each direction with your pelvis without moving your chest or shoulders. And then when you're ready, just settle somewhere that feels like it's midway between the two ends of the ranges, and that's your neutral spine. Once you've found that, just straighten your legs and feel that tall neutral position slightly drawing in your abdominal muscles. Let's go for a few roll downs. So I want you to scoop your arms up towards the ceiling, slightly elongate your chest upwards, and then open your arms out, and as they come down, drop your chin down to your chest, soften your knees, and roll your spine down towards the floor, one vertebrae at a time, toppling forward, reaching your hands down as far as they can comfortably go. Feel the stretch at the back of the legs. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just start to try to push one knee straight and bend the other. Hold for a few seconds, then on your next breath out, change legs again. Hold to breathe in. On your next breath out, change legs again. So you're going to feel the big stretch coming down the back of the straight leg each time. And we're just trying to mobilize the tissues, unlock the hamstrings a little bit before our class. Excellent. Now, we're going to roll back up to standing. So draw in your abdominal muscles. Start to unravel your spine back up, and when you stand up, let's think about again that tall lifted posture. Think about an imaginary piece of string just gently pulling your shoulders wider and the top of your head taller. You've got your neutral pelvis as well. And again, as you breathe out, let's lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Chest up, shine tall, and then take your arms out, drop your chin down to your chest, and roll your spine down for a second time. Maybe try and reach a little bit further than you did before. Keep one hand down either on the floor or on your leg if you can't reach the floor. Take the other arm straight up towards the ceiling and twist and look up at your hand. Slowly take that hand back down, and let's go through the other arm. Lift it up to the ceiling. So now not only are we stretching the back of the legs, but we've got a spine stretch as well. Let's repeat both of those arms again. Changing arms. Just take your time. Everything can feel slow and relaxed. Brilliant. Come on down onto your hands and knees, and let's flow into a few cat-cow stretches now. So I want you to round your spine, push your upper back towards the ceiling, and tuck your head in. Breathe in, look forward, stick your tailbone up, shine your chest forward. Breathe out, scoop the tailbone under, tuck your head in, and round the spine. And breathe in, look forward, stick your tailbone up. Breathing out, round the spine. Let's continue our lovely spinal mobilization. Breathe in, look forward, stick the tailbone up. And last one's round the spine. And extend the spine. Now let's start with our first strength and stability exercise. I want you to think about drawing in your abdominal muscles up towards your lower back so that your body is going to remain completely still here. Slide your left leg out along the floor behind you and lift it until it's roughly in line with your body. As you breathe in, lower it, tap the floor, and as you breathe out, lift again. Breathe in, lower, tap your toe on the floor, breathe out, lift again. Ensure that your left leg remains straight. The muscle work here is coming from your glute, so your bottom muscle and the back of your leg. Those two muscles should be lifting your leg upwards and keeping your body completely still. So don't allow your back to shift around, don't allow your shoulders to rise. Just focus on the leg moving alone. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. Squeeze that bottom muscle up towards the top. Really nice. Now let's fold the knee back down onto the mat and follow that with a thread needle stretch. Take your right arm up to the ceiling and look up at your hand, and then thread it underneath your body just behind your left arm and rest it onto the floor. Breathe in as you stretch up to the ceiling and breathe out as you thread underneath. You can bend your left elbow a little bit there when you're going underneath. Breathe in as you lift up and breathe out as you go down. Let's just do that once more. This is the lovely thing about Pilates. You have that combination of strengthening, stabilizing, controlled movements and flexibility. So now we're going to start our leg lifts with the right leg. So again, think drawing in your abdominal muscles, keep your body nice and stable. Then slide your right leg out along the floor and lift it till it's just in line with your body. As you breathe in, lower that leg, tap your toe on the floor, and as you breathe out, squeeze your bottom muscle and lift the leg back up. Breathe in, lower, tap the floor. Breathe out, lift. So remember the key technique points to remember here are neutral spine, not letting the shoulders bunch up by the ears, everything from the hips upwards staying still. It's just the right leg moving by itself. Really nice. You shouldn't feel any stress in your back doing this. If you are feeling uncomfortable in your back, it could be possible that your lower back is sinking down a little bit. So try drawing up your abdominal muscles and lifting your back a little bit more. Now fold the leg back down onto the floor, and then the left arm's coming up for our thread needle stretches, and let's thread it down, rest it on the floor underneath your right arm. Breathing in, lift up to the ceiling. Breathing out, thread underneath. 2 more. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, lower. Last one. Breathing in, lift. And breathing out, lower. Going back to working on a little bit more stability in the torso now. We're going to build on that leg lift exercise that we did earlier and add on an opposing arm. So draw in your abdominal muscles to begin, set your spine in neutral, slide your left leg away and lift it. Get your balance and then slowly see if you can take your right arm up in front of you. So your arm is up by your ear and straight. As you breathe in, draw your elbow and knee in, keep your spine straight. Breathe out, stretch them away again. Breathe in, draw them in. Breathe out, stretch them away. Imagine that you have a big bowl of water on your back. You're trying not to spill any of the water out of the bowl. So you need to keep your torso really stable. If you find this is too much with the arm and leg together, you could just drop this down to just the leg or just the arm if you want to. So please always adjust what I'm doing to suit your body better if you feel you have a different need. Good. Let's just see if we can hold our last one for a little bit longer. Keep holding. Well done. Place it back down. Fantastic. Now you know I love adding in extra exercises, so let's take the hands slightly further forward and start to work on some tricep strength before we do our other side. I want you to lower your elbows down onto the floor so that your shoulders are directly above your elbows. As you breathe out, press your hands into the floor, straighten up your arms back to where you started. Breathe in, lower your elbows onto the floor, and breathe out, push up. Breathe in, lower, elbows onto the floor, breathe out, push up. So this is a variation of your tricep press up. It's a slight regression of the regular tricep press up. It's slightly less load going through the upper body. So really great if maybe you're not very strong in your upper body, or maybe you have some injuries to your shoulders, elbows or hands. You should be able to feel those muscles at the back of your upper arms working, your triceps. And after your next one, we're going to see if we can hold it halfway down for 10 seconds. So let's lower halfway down and hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pushing back up. And again. Lower down halfway. Hold it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Now for our last time, let's see if we can add pulses into that mid-range. Go down halfway, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press all the way up. Well done. Okay, let's just take the weight off the arms for a moment. You can sit back into a child's pose or any other position if there's something more comfortable for you. Okay, let's get set up to now do our other side of the previous exercise. So we're going to be moving the right leg and the left arm. Picture that big bowl of water on your back again that you don't want to spill. Draw in your lower belly muscles. Slowly slide your right leg out and lift it till it's in line with your body. And then take your left arm straight forward up by your ear. As you breathe in, bend your elbow and knee in. And as you breathe out, stretch them away from your body. Breathe in as you bend them in. Breathe out as you stretch away. Breathe in as you draw them in, and breathe out as you stretch away. Well done. Keeping your torso nice and stable. And be strong through that right arm, your supporting arm. Try and think about pushing away from the floor rather than sinking down towards the floor. Keep your body nice and stable by drawing in your abdominal muscles. Breathe in, draw the elbow and knee in. Breathe out, stretch them away. And let's hold our last one. Hold it there. Keep drawing in those lower belly muscles. Fantastic. Lower the hand and leg down and just rest there. We're going to switch our focus back into another mobility movement for the hips this time. Kneel on your right knee, place your left foot further in front of the left knee. Slightly tuck your hips underneath. We're going to be stretching our right hip flexor. Gently push your hips forward until you feel a stretch on your right front of your right hip. Hold on to your left knee with your right arm and rotate around to your left. Stretch your left arm backwards. Then come back to where you started. Breathe out, stretch around and rotate. Breathe in, come back to where you started. Keep going through those slow mobilizations. You're twisting to the left every time. And as you rotate your torso, think about lengthening out, opening out the front of your right hip. Really good. Now straighten out your left leg. Place your hands down on the floor as close to your foot as you can and fold your nose towards your knee. You're stretching your hamstring now, which is the back of your thigh. Fantastic. Slowly ease yourself out of that position. And let's go through the other leg. So place your right leg forward. The foot should be slightly in front of the knee. Tuck your tailbone underneath. Gently push your pelvis forward. Put your left hand on your right knee and rotate your body round to the right. Once you've held that for a few seconds, rotate back to where you started and repeat. But always keep the pelvis tucked underneath and gently pushing forward. That way we're going to keep the stretch on that left hip flexor all the time. We're just increasing it by adding the rotation. Lovely. Let's go for one more there. Really good. Okay, following with the hamstring stretch. So straighten out your right leg now. Fold forward down towards your leg. Don't worry if your right knee's not completely straight, that's okay. As long as you can feel the stretch on the back of your leg, that's perfect. And when you're ready, ease out of that stretch. Let's move on to a little bit of core strengthening. Sit down with your feet on the floor in front of you and your knees slightly bent. We're going to be going through a few rollbacks. In this movement, I want you to think about scooping your hips underneath and tucking your tailbone under. So take a breath in, place your hands on the back of your thighs. And as you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under, scoop in your abdominals and just roll back slightly off your sitting bones until you can feel your abdominals start to engage. And then simply roll back up and lengthen up tall. And then again, as you breathe out, roll back off your sitting bones. You're still using your hands on the back of your legs to help support you. But if you don't feel like you need it, if you don't have any back pain, or if the movement just feels fairly strong, I want you to see if you can either shuffle your hands down your thighs a little bit more towards your bottom, or just let go completely. As you breathe out again, tuck your tailbone under, round your spine. Roll off your sitting bones. See if you can go a little bit further back this time. We're aiming to get about halfway down to the floor. Now let's roll back to that halfway point and see if you can stretch your arms to the wall in front of you now. If this feels a little bit too unsupported for you, then definitely place your hands back onto your thighs where they were before. Really nice. So tucking the tailbone underneath again, roll off your sitting bones, try not to bunch your shoulders up, draw in those abdominals till you get halfway down to the floor, and then rolling forward, restacking your spine upright on top of your sitting bones. Now this time, can you roll halfway back? Place your hands on the back of your thighs again. Let's take the left arm off, take it right round behind you and twist and look at your hand. Breathe in as you come back to the middle and swap arms. Keep drawing in your abdominals. Breathe out, twist to your right, reach that arm to the wall behind you. And breathe in, come back to the center and roll back up. And again. So each time we're going to be doing 2 twists, so 1 on each side. Like I said, you can keep one hand on the back of your thigh for a bit of support, but if you don't feel like you need it, simply just reach it forward instead. Breathe out as you twist, and breathe in as you come back to the middle. and then roll forward and re-stack up tall. As you breathe out, tuck and roll back, then hold for breath in. Breathe out, twist to the left. Breathe in, back to the middle. Breathe out, twist to the right. Keep your abdominals scooping in and your tailbone tucked under. Breathe in, twist to the middle. And breathe out, roll back up to sitting. And again, rolling back, tuck the tailbone under. On your next breath out, twist to your left. Breathe into the middle. Breathe out to the right. Breathe into the middle. And roll forwards. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to come down onto our backs now. So come and lie down in any way that suits you. Then I want you to start with your feet about hip width apart and your knees bent in your neutral spine. Relax your shoulders, widen your collarbones, and let's just do a few pelvic tilts to loosen up that lower back. So tucking your tailbone underneath and then rolling your pelvis forward a few times before again settling in your neutral spine. I'm going to start to work on some neutral spine control work. So in these exercises, I want you to try really hard to not let your lower back lift up off the floor. Drawing down your abdominal muscles, take your right leg up to tabletop and your arms straight up to the ceiling. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, stretch both arms back and lengthen your right leg forward. Breathe in as they come back to the center. Breathe out as they stretch away, draw down your lower belly muscles. Breathe in as they come back to the center. Now this looks like a fairly straightforward exercise, but you've really got to concentrate on keeping control of your lower back and your ribs. So as your arms and leg move away from you, make sure that your back is lifting up off the floor and make sure your ribs aren't popping up towards the ceiling. So every time you breathe out and you stretch your limbs away from you, think about drawing down your ribs and drawing your abdominals in towards your back. Excellent. Last ones. And place that right leg down. Let's now bring the hands underneath the head and start to work on some abdominal curls. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, curl up your head, neck and shoulders, look towards your legs and draw down those lower belly muscles and ribs. Breathe in as you curl down, breathe out as you curl up, breathe in as you curl down. Focus on using your abdominals to pull inwards so that it's not your neck muscles having to overwork to lift up your head. It's your abdominal muscles that are contracting inwards to lift your head, neck and shoulders all up as one. After our next one, we're going to start to add on an oblique twist. So as you curl up this time, I want you to stretch your right hand outside your left leg. Try and reach to the outside of the front of the left knee. Breathe in as you curl down. And then to the other side. So reach your left arm on the outside of your right knee. Try and reach all the way around to the front of your knee. Breathe in as you curl down. Breathe out, twist to the left, right hand to left knee. Breathe in as you curl down. Breathe out, curl to the right, left hand to the outside of the right knee. So your obliques are your twisting muscles. They're really important in your core structure. As you twist to one side, hopefully you should be able to feel that the muscles on that side of your torso are working a bit more. Breathing out as you curl up and twist, curling to the left, reaching outside that left leg. Breathing in as you go down. Breathing out to the right leg. When you finish this one, just rest down on the floor and let's get ready to go into that previous leg extension exercise on our other leg. So lift your left leg up to tabletop, take a breath in, arms up to the ceiling, and as you breathe out, stretch both arms back and your left leg forward. Breathe in as you bring them back to the center. Breathe out as they stretch away. The lower you take them to the floor, the tougher this is going to be to control your neutral spine. So if you want a bit more challenge, take them nice and low. If you need a bit less challenge, keep them a bit higher off the floor. 4 more to go. Breathe out, extend both arms, one leg away from you without arching your back. Breathe in, pull them back in. This is one of the most important principles of Pilates, is being able to control your neutral spine where it's really safe and stable for your back. This is your last one. And then rest that foot down. Place your hands underneath your head again. We're going to go back into some oblique curls. As you breathe out, can you curl up and twist to your right and lift your right leg up to tabletop? Draw your left elbow towards your right knee. Breathe in as you curl down. Breathe out as you go to the other side. Now, if you want to make this a bit tougher for yourself, rather than curling down in between each one, just try and bring your body to the center, keeping it up off the floor. Keep drawing in those muscles on the sides of your waist. Let's have 2 more on each side. Breathing out to twist, draw your elbow towards the opposite knee. Breathing into the center. Last one on each side. When you finish this one, relax everything down. Now we're going to see if we can progress that neutral spine exercise where we had both arms and one leg's moving away. So can you now take your legs up to tabletop? Ensure you have your neutral spine. Your back is relatively flat down towards the floor, and take your arms up to the ceiling again. Let's bring both arms and one leg away, just like we did earlier, and then bring them back to the center. Both arms, the other leg, move away from the body and draw them back to the center. Now remember what I said earlier, the lower your arms and legs go to the floor, the tougher this will be. So I would recommend only take your arms and legs as low as you can keep control of your lower back for. It's always better to ensure you have a good quality movement rather than the biggest movement possible. Breathing out to stretch out and in to come in. Let's go for 1 more on each leg. Last one. Legs in tabletop. Okay, let's have 1 more challenge. Can we bring the hands underneath the head? When you're ready, take a breath out and curl up. Extend one leg forward. Hold it there. Let's swap the legs. Swap and again swap. Then tuck them into tabletop and curl down. So we've got 3 leg extensions, alternating legs. Curl up, straighten the other leg. 2, 3, tuck them in and curl down. Straighten the other leg, curl up, swap 1, 2, 3, tuck them in and curl down. Curl up, extend the other leg. 1, swap, 2, swap, 3, tuck them in and curl down. Fantastic. And again, curling up. 1, swap, 2, swap, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. When you're ready, lower those legs down and take a rest. Can you extend your arms out to the side? Let's gently rock the knees side to side a few times. And what you can do is, as your knees go to one side, I would twist your head away from your knees to look to the other side so that you get that lovely full spine stretch. Hold each side for a good few seconds to give your body that nice stretch. Then change sides. We're just going a few times to each side. If you've got one side that feels a lot tighter, feel free to work on that side a bit more if you want to. Just enjoy that nice slow release. Make sure that you're even on both sides. So if you need to do one more side, do it now. And then just draw your legs back to the center. We're going to start to bring some glute work into the equation because your glutes are one of the most important muscles for moving your lower body. So, still on your back with your feet hip width apart, take your arms straight up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw in your abdominal muscles, squeeze your glutes, tuck your hips underneath, and press your hips up to the ceiling. Take a breath in at the top, and then slowly roll your body down. Then curl up your head, neck, and shoulders and reach towards your feet again. And then we repeat. Scoop your hips underneath, squeeze your glutes, press your hips up to the ceiling. Breathe in as you slowly roll your spine back down, and when your tailbone hits the floor, breathe out and curl up your head, neck and shoulders and reach towards your feet. Breathe out as you press up to your bridge. Breathe in as you lower down. Breathe out as you curl up, hands towards your feet. Breathe in as you curl down. Breathe out as you lift your hips up to the bridge. Breathe in as you roll down. Breathe out as you curl up your head, neck and shoulders. And breathe in as you place your hands underneath your head this time. We're still in our abdominal curl. We're going to lift our right leg up to tabletop. Can you swap your legs 10 times? 1. Keep it slow. Keep drawing down your abdominals. 2. 3. Head, neck and shoulders are still lifted. Look towards your legs. 4. 5. 6. 7. Nearly there. 8. Keep that lower back in neutral. Don't let it lift off the floor. 9. Last one. 10. Well done. Place your feet down and lower your head down. We're going to raise our arms back up towards the ceiling now again and lift up to your bridge. We're working on some halfway bridges next. So as you breathe in, lower your hips halfway down, and as you breathe out, press your hips up to the ceiling, squeezing your bottom muscles again. Breathe in as you lower halfway. Breathe out as you squeeze your glutes up to the ceiling. And again. 3 more. 1. 2. 3. Roll your spine down onto the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl up your head, neck and shoulders, reach your hands towards your feet and start to make little pulses with your arms going down towards the floor. This exercise is called the hundreds. We're going to try and breathe in for 5 beats and out for 5 beats. Now, place your left hand behind your head. Keep your right arm stretching down. Curl to your right, lift your right leg and pulse the arm. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Try and continue that breathing pattern, just making those small little pulsing movements with the arm. Let's change sides. Right hand under the head, curl to your left, lift your left leg up and pulse that left arm, breathing in for 5 beats and out for 5 beats. Just like you're making some little ripples in a puddle next to you. This is one of the original classical Pilates movements designed by Joseph Pilates. Both hands underneath your head and lower your head back down onto the floor. Lifting your hips up to your bridge again. Then lift your right leg up to tabletop. Trying to keep your hip bones level, I want you to then straighten that right leg out in front of you till your thighs are in line. Take it back to tabletop and place the foot down onto the floor. Then it's the turn of the left leg. Lift it to tabletop, extend it out, thighs in line, bring it back to tabletop and place it down. I've got my hands resting on my hip bones because it's much easier for me to feel if I'm keeping my hips level or if I'm allowing one side to drop. So if you're not sure whether you're keeping your hips stable or not, then do this as well. It's much easier. And then if you feel that one side of your pelvis is dropping, you can then try and correct it. Lower your hips down. Let's take a brief rest. And then repeating once more. So lift those hips up again. Lift one leg to tabletop. Extend it out in front of you, thighs in line. Take it back to tabletop and lower it down. And the other leg. Fantastic. Keep the height of the hips nice and high and your pelvis level. One more on the other leg so that we've done 2 on each leg. And then lower your hips back down onto the floor. So we've worked our glutes and abdominals. Now it's time to work our back muscles. So roll over onto your front. We're going to be lying on our front with our hands crossed in front of our face so that you can rest your forehead on the back of your hands or on your wrists. Your upper back and shoulder muscles are the most important muscles for your upper back posture as they allow you to stand upright. Keeping your forehead resting on your hands, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift your upper body up off the floor as high as you possibly can. Keeping your forehead on your hands is going to ensure that your neck isn't overextending and the movement is coming from your thoracic spine, your middle back. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Try if you can to keep the tops of your feet down on the floor, so that your lower back and hips aren't overworking. We can really try and isolate that upper back muscle group. Good. Now if your upper back muscles aren't very strong, this might seem like quite a tough movement. You might not feel like you're getting that far off the floor, or it might feel a bit sore. But just keep going at your own pace. There's no pressure at the moment. You can improve this as the weeks go by. Make that one your last one. Now keeping your head and hands on the floor now, let's move down to the lower body. I want you to bend one leg to 90 degrees, so bend at your knee, pull your heel towards your bottom. Then, as you extend your leg back out, try and lift your thigh off the floor before it returns down. Then the other leg, heel towards your bottom, lift the whole leg off the floor, straighten it out, lower it down. So we've got that hamstring working the back of your thigh to bend your heel towards your bottom. And then as you're straightening it out, we're going to really get that glute muscle activating again by lifting the whole thigh off the floor as well. Excellent. Now you may feel a little bit of work in your lower back doing this, but it shouldn't be too much. If you feel there's lots of work in your lower back or there's pain, try tucking your hips underneath, like you're trying to tuck a tail between your legs. That will engage your glutes more and stabilize your lower back. Rest there. Now extend both arms straight out along the floor in front of you. Now let's combine the upper and lower body back line of the body together. I want you to lift your right arm and left leg, keeping them straight as high as you can, and then lower them down. Breathe out, lift the other side, left arm and right leg. Breathe in as they return to the floor. Breathe out, lift the right arm, left leg. Breathe in, return to the floor. Breathe out, lift the left arm, right leg. Return to the floor. And again. So you're getting that cross-body coordination now. One more on each side. Then we're going to see if we can combine them together. Okay. Can you lift both arms, both legs? And hovering your legs in the air, bring your hands to the top of your head and extend them forwards again. Hands to the top of the head, extend them forward again. Try your best to keep your arms as high off the floor as you can and your legs. Good. Breathe in, hands to the top of the head. Breathe out, stretch your arms straight forward. Breathe in, hands to the top of the head. Breathe out, stretch them straight forward. 3 more. Straighten them out, bend them in. Straighten them out, bend them in. And last one. Fantastic. Rest everything down onto the floor. We're going to follow that with a bit of a cobra stretch. So keeping your legs down a good shoulder width apart, hands underneath your shoulders, press your arms up until they're as straight as you're comfortable with. This is stretching through your lower back, but also your abdominal sheet at the front line of your body. And then send your hips backwards, sit your hips down onto your feet as far as your knees are happy going. Extend your arms forward into a child's pose and just let your body rest. Okay. From here, we're now going to go into a bit of side lying work. So can you start off lying on your right side? You can rest your head on your arm, or if that's not comfortable, grab yourself a little pillow instead to go under your head. Bend your knees. You want to make sure that your feet are roughly in line with your hips, and then lift both feet up off the floor so that they're hovering into the air. Tuck your hips underneath, keep your feet together and open that top knee up to the ceiling. Really squeeze your glutes. You should be able to feel this muscle working where I'm pointing to at the side of your left glute. Now sometimes it takes a little while to come in, but if you still don't feel anything in the side of your top glute after a few more repetitions, try tucking your hips underneath more or taking your legs slightly further back. So continue to lift and lower that top knee. This is your clam exercise. You may have done this one before. Breathe out as you open the top knee. Breathe in as you lower down. You're now working on your glute med muscle, which is a smaller muscle in your group's glute that is more around the side towards your hip bone. Now, open that top knee, keep the thigh lifted now. Extend your leg out to the wall. Bend it back in again. Extend it out straight. Bend it back in again to rejoin your feet. Extend it out straight. Bend it back in again to rejoin your feet. Let's breathe out to stretch out and breathe in to come in. Try your best to keep that left thigh up slightly higher than your hip joint. That's it. Your right foot is still off the floor as well. By now that glute med muscle should be really alive and kicking. There should be no doubt that muscle is working now. If you're still struggling to feel that muscle working, again, try tucking your hips under more and taking your leg back more. Let's hold that last one. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Now this time, we're going to try and create a little gap underneath your waist, like you can see mine here. That's just going to really square the hips to each other and ensure your pelvis is level. Then hover that top left leg up at hip height. My knee is bent at 90 degrees. And I'm going to swing my leg slowly forward and back. Forward and back. Keep your waist lifted. Keep the leg up at hip height. Don't let it drop. If in doubt, lift it a bit higher. We're still working on that same glute med muscle, so expect to feel those muscles around the side of the glute, side of the hip working. Nearly there. Try your best to keep that leg lifted. Excellent. Last one. And place the leg back down. Well done. From here, we're just going to push ourselves up into a position where we're on our right knee and the left leg is stretched out to the side of you. We're still working on the side of the body, but this time we're coming more up towards the obliques. Place your right hand on the floor and stretch that left arm right over towards your ear to get that glorious side body stretch. Then you're going to use this left side of your waist muscles, draw your rib down to the hip to come back up, and we're going to counter stretch in the opposite direction with the right arm coming over by the ear. Place the right hand down, bring that left arm right over by the ear for that lovely stretch. Then use the left side of your waist muscles, draw in your lower belly to pull back up and over to the other side. So keep going through this at whatever pace suits you. And try to keep your body aligned in the way that if your back was flat against the wall behind you, it wouldn't come off the wall. So by that I mean when you're going over from side to side, try not to lean forward or back. Try and keep your back just sliding against that imaginary wall behind you. This is such a lovely combination of flexibility and strength in one movement. Okay, now place that right hand down, just stretch the left arm straight up, and we're going to lift our left leg 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep it nice and straight, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Let's have a lovely counter stretch. Bring that right arm right over towards your ear and lean over your left leg. Excellent. Now lying down on our other side for our right glute work this time. So again, we're going to start with our knees bent. You don't have to have the gap under your waist for this one because we're going to lift both feet up off the floor. Tucking your hips underneath. Open up that right knee towards the ceiling, but keep your feet together and then lower it back down. Breathe out, lift the knee. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift the knee. Breathe in, lower. So, we're working our right glute med muscle this time. That muscle is at the side of your right glute, closest to your sort of bony part that sticks out on the outer aspect of your hip. So expect to feel the side of your glute working or the side of your hip and maybe even the side of your leg. Now, let's open the top knee, and this time we're going to hold our thigh up whilst we straighten the leg away. So lift up the thigh and straighten the leg away. Keeping your thigh lifted, just rejoin your heels together. Breathe out as you stretch the leg out. Breathe in as you rejoin the feet. Breathe out as you stretch out. Breathe in as you rejoin the feet. Keep the hips tucked underneath, your body still and your thighs still. 3 more to finish. 1, 2, 3. Rejoin your feet, lower the knee, and lower your feet down onto the floor. Getting ready for our side kick exercise. So we're just going to square the hips, lift the underneath side of your waist slightly, and then lift that top right leg up till it's up at hip height with the knee bent at 90 degrees. Sweep it forward till your knee comes in front of your hip, and sweep it back until your thigh gets back in line with your body. Good. Breathe in as you sweep that leg forward. Breathe out as it goes back. Breathe in as it comes forward. Breathe out as it goes back. Try your best not to drop that leg below hip height. Fantastic, you're nearly there. Keep strong for our last ones. And rest the leg down. So coming up onto that left knee with your right leg stretched out to the side of you now for our side bends. Take your arms out at shoulder height. Lower your left hand down onto the floor. Take your right arm right up and over by your ear for that lovely side stretch. Then engage that right side of your waist muscles. Pull the rib down to the hip to come back up. And then lean over your right leg, bringing your left arm up by your ear. And again, placing the left hand down, stretch that right arm up and over. Draw that right side of your waist down, draw the lower belly muscles in, and stretch over that right leg. Place the hand down again. Extend the right arm up and over. Draw down that right side of your waist, pull yourself all the way up and over the top of your right leg so your left arm comes up by your ear. And again. This is our last one before we start to add on those leg lifts. So let's bring the left hand down onto the floor again. And stop with that right arm directly up to the ceiling. Then lift your right leg. 1, 2, breathe in lower, breathe out 3, breathe in lower, breathe out 4, breathe in lower, breathe out 5, 5 more to go, 6, 7, 8, keep the body stable, 9, 10, fantastic, rest that knee down and relax. Congratulations, you've done the main body of the class. Let's spend a few minutes cooling off and stretching off those muscles that you've worked. So sitting down, have the soles of your feet together. Let your knees flop out to the sides. Hold on to your ankles. Gently use your elbows to press your legs down a little bit closer towards the floor. And at the same time, see if you can just gently pull your chest towards your feet. Hold that there for a few breaths. In, out, in, out, in, out. Stretch your left leg out to the side. Keep your right leg tucked in. We're going to lean over towards that left leg. So lean your left hand towards the foot and take your right arm up by your ear for that lovely side bend stretch. If you need to bend your left knee a little bit, that's absolutely fine. Just try and feel that stretch through the back of your leg and your side. Then tuck your left leg slightly round to the side. Place your hands in front of your right leg and lean forward so that your chest is going down towards your right leg and your left leg is bent behind you. And again, hold for a few breaths. This stretch is mostly focusing around your hips. Slowly come back up to sitting. Let's change legs now so that your right leg is extended out diagonally in front of you and your left knee is bent outwards. Stretch your right hand down to your right foot and bring your left arm up by your ear, leaning your body weight to your right. Ease out of that stretch. Bend your right leg so that your foot is now behind you. And you're going to stretch over your left leg, bringing your chest towards your thigh. Slowly ease yourself out of that stretch. And take a seat now with your feet both directly out in front of you. Then keep your left leg straight, cross your right leg over the top of your left leg with the sole of your foot on the floor. Twist your body to the right, place your right hand on the floor behind you. Left arm can come outside of the right knee and press your spine, twisting round to the right. Ease yourself out of that stretch and change legs. Twist to your left. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to the center. Grab hold of your feet with your knees bent and slowly, one leg at a time, walk your feet out in front of you until you can't stretch anymore. Your legs may get all the way straight or they may not. Wherever you get to today is fine. You're doing the best that your body can at the moment. So hold that stretch wherever you get to and breathe normally. With consistency, your body will improve flexibility and strength and balance over time. Slowly come on back up out of that stretch. I thought we'd finish with a little bit of guided breathing, so lie down onto your back with your knees either bent or straight, whatever is more comfortable for you, and place your hands onto your rib cage. Take a breath in and try to expand your ribs out to the sides. As you breathe out, feel your rib cage fall down as the air leaves your body. Breathe in through the nose, feel that rib cage expand. Breathe out until all of the air is out of your lungs. Try not to lift your chest too high. You want your rib cage to expand rather than right up at the top of your chest. Then simply rest your arms down onto the floor next to you for your few final breaths. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you've enjoyed this full hour's class. We've worked the whole body, we've worked strength, stability and mobility, and that is what Pilates is all about. Join me next time for another class, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed it.